intend to create the tutorial primarily for corporate use. I encourage anyone use it for other brands, ensure alignment with the specific brand requirements. Although the process shared is the result of extensive practical experiment, if followed correctly, it will not only improve fitting but ensure balanced fitting. Now we might ask, what does balanced fitting mean? Well, balanced fitting refer to the garments that are proportionally accurate in both the front and back. All seams hang correctly, and most importantly, both the weft and warp yarn remain straight and aligned with the body structure without twisting or tilting. To complete this tutorial, I'm gonna use Optitex pattern making system, where I will cover every tiny steps including pattern drafting, tracing, grading, adding sewing allowance, shrinkage. Finally, the tutorial will end with the marker making. Without further delay, let's begin. By the way, beside the tutorial, there's a lot of video too in the channel. Make a tour if you have time. This is the basic 5 pocket trousers that I'm gonna use in the tutorial. And here you can see the measurement and the calculation. I made the calculation prior to start the video to shorten the duration. But don't worry, I'll make you understand everything. Here's the template that I'm talking about. Let's begin to the final step. This is the Optitex pattern making interface. If you want to know in detail about use of the tools, you may check my earlier videos in the channel where I discuss in details, and let me know in the comment section below in case of any confusion or questions. To ensure the side line parallel to the body, the front waist should be wider than back and the back waist should be wider than front by 5 millimeter, because front waist is curved and lower than the back and the back hip is bumpy than front. Here is an example. Analyze the image and you will understand what I'm talking about. Here is the calculation for waist, like for front waist divided by 2 plus 0.25, for back waist divided by 2 minus 0.25, and for hip just vice versa. We can see for front hip divided by 2 minus 0.25, and for back hip divided by 2 plus 0.25. And since there's no side length measurement, but this is very important for pattern making, therefore we need to visualize the side length by calculating like inch plus front dice, which you can see here. Let me make you clarify for the thigh calculation. Difference between back and front rise minus 32%. The result should be deduct from the thigh to make the front thigh, and the result should be add on the thigh to make the back thigh. For knee, 10 to 12% shorter on front and wider on back. Bottom is same as knee but 10% unless exception. Remember, the calculation is to facilitate the pattern making process. Nothing is fixed, which meaning on demand by feeding and setting the measurement, this could be revised. I bring the calculation on right side of the measurement chart and work on the side forwarding. I have considered side forwarding 12 mm. As you can see, this is the calculated measurement, and from here for the front, the left side is front and here is the back of the result, and after that this is the forwarding, like from 22.75 I have deduct like 1.2 centimeter for side forwarding. Now the front waist become 21.55 and the back became 23.45. So you can see everything here like hip, front thigh, knee, bottom. Anyway, if there is any confusion or question, don't hesitate to let me know in the comment section below. I'll try my best to help you. Now let's move to the pattern making. To proceed to pattern making in Optitex platform, we need to consider the most length and wider part. Here we can see the most length 108 and the thigh is like 35, half thigh. Now I'm taking a rectangle piece to resize according to our requirement. Our most length is 108, but I will take little extra like 120, and half thigh is 35. I will take little extra like 80 centimeter. Moving the internal line toward to side to facilitate our smooth working. Adding side line here, half of the pattern. Adding the forwarding line, 1.2 centimeter in this case. Now let me check the length, like 108.5 for side length, and the inseam is 81, and the front thigh is like 29.8, back thigh is 40.2. Adding side measurement, 108.5, and the inseam is 81. The front thigh is 29.8, back thigh 40.2. Hip position is 20 from the sideline. Now I'm adding an overlap on the hip as I showed you here, like 1 centimeter for the back, and for the front 0.25 centimeter. So this is basically front hip and this is basically back hip. To set the hip, I need to check couple of things like the measurement, 25.3 and 28.2 back and front. Also I need to check the angle of the front rise and back rise, like 5 to 6 degree for front rise and 12 to 13 degrees for back rise. I'm setting the front hip first, like from here 25.3 is the value and the degree required is 6, which meaning from 90 I need to deduct 6 is 84. This is the hip. For the back hip, the value is 28.2 and the degree required is 13, which meaning from 90 I need to deduct 13 minus 77. So this is the back hip and this is the front hip. After setting the hip line, let me fix the green light first. For the front, from hip this is 50%. This is the front panel grain line, and for the back 37%, and make it straight. This is basically 37 to 40% maximum. Here you can see I mentioned the 37 and 63, but it could be up to 40% and 60%, depend on the shape you want. Now set the front rise first. This is hip and front cross point. Now make it shape. Try to make the shape as smooth as possible, and the shape is up to you. Front rise 27.5. Delete this point. These are front rise. The knee position is 42 and front knee is 19. This is the knee position, like 42. So let me draw a line like 19 and divided them into 2 and match this line to this mark. This is our front knee and the bottom is 15, which meaning 7.5, and here also 7.5. So this is basically inseam mark, front inseam mark. I'll draw the front side later. I'm going to set the back knee like 26. 42 is the position and 26 is the knee width, back knee width. Add a point on the center and match the center point to the position. This is our bag knee. Now let me show you on calculation to set the NCM. The bag NCM should be shorter by 4% from knee to cross, something like from here to here there is 4% shorter. We must respect this for better fitting. Let me show you some example. This excess fabrics and drag line can be avoided if you follow this process. Here you can see some excess and drag line and here as well. I've seen a lot of pattern maker follow this, but they use fixed measure, something like 5 millimeter or maybe 1 centimeter. They don't care about the length they are applying for. So better to convert this into percentage, either this could be 3 or 4. Now let me measure the front NCM from knee to cross. This 40 centimeter. So calculate the 40 minus 4%. That is 1.6, which meaning the back NCM should be 1.6 cm shorter than the front. So now lower the back NCM by 4% minus 1.6. Set the bottom measurement, like the bottom width is 21, so half of the bottom is 10.5. So draw the NCM line. Now I'm going to set the back rise. So this is the back rise angle. This shape is done. Now I need to check the back rise. The back rise is 40 centimeter. So I don't need extra. Here you can see this back rise and this front rise. Now connect each other. And it was our determined side, but this is not fixed. So yeah, the back rise is okay because this is our side line. So back rise is already down. Now make it little down here. And check the front rise angle as well. So make it perfect shape. If required, you can move it little down too, because we don't have side measurement. It was just temporary mark. Now I'm going to add side line. Yes, we have done. Now make it curve on the hip line. Select the curve point. The curve always up to you. Now the pattern is almost ready. Draw the waist line here, 4 centimeter. Because this is including waist. Our waist is 4 centimeter. So connect this line. This is like back waist, and here is the front waist. This is the front part and this is back part. We can see this is the back part and this is the front part. Here little overlap and here 1.25 centimeter overlap. Now I need to draw the yoke. Like the yoke is 4 and 6. Here's the 6 and 4. Now draw the yoke. You have seen that I have fixed the waist measurement for front like 21.55, but I didn't set any measurement for back yet. Our back waist is 23.45. Now I have considered this hole as a back. From there, the excess value I need to remove. Like I need to check first what is the measurement, like 24.85, but we require 23.45, which meaning 24.85 minus 23.45, 1.4 centimeter is extra on the back. Now I am adding a mark middle of this back waist to take out the extra volume by adding hidden dart. From lower side of this waistline, I need to mark at least 7 or 7.5, and I need to mark like zero point 0.7 each side because our axis was 1.4. Now I need to make a dart here, something like this. And yes, this is how we need to add a hidden dart to remove our excess volume. Now let me trace the pattern so that you will understand everything clearly. Before tracing the pattern, let me make you clarify the benefit of setting the grand line in this way. If you follow the concept, the vertical yarn of the trouser made using the pattern will remain straight to the human body. Something like this. Now let me trace the pattern. This is the front panel and this is the back panel. To compare the shape between back and front, flip the back, bring the front into the back. Now you can see the shape between back and front. As soon as tracing is done, we must check the shape by visual assembling in this way. Like realign the front panel following the front raise and join the front raise. We can see the front raise shape. Follow this step for back too. We can see front rise and back rise shape is okay. Now bring it normal mode. Flip the front and match it with the thigh and waist. Now we can see the side shape. Checking the side and waist shape is very important to avoid this kind of problem. We can see there is too much down. Now I need to join the inseam. Okay, after joining the inseam, check the front and back rise shape. Now I feel there are little correction required here because the shape should be proper U shape. Yes, this is quite good. By doing this, you can identify if there is an error and modify them before sample being made. Creating proper block pattern might take little longer time, but this is necessary. After making proper block pattern, you can use it for other models too, for this product group by little modification, which meaning new and correct pattern without wasting too much time. Now time to prepare for small pattern like pocket, yoke, belt, fly and so on. Before prepare, I would like to show you some basic requirement which should be followed during pattern sample making. In this picture, we can see the front pocket measurement and the construction details like length and width of the pocket bag. Pocket seam overlapping on the side by 6 cm and on the waist seam 3.5 cm. Side cord stitch stop at the pocket bag edge with bartak end. Pocket bag lower shape require 10 cm. Pocket bag made by 3-degree angle and other detail. In this picture, we can see the extension of front panel. The red area is extended. This modification required to prevent specific problems. The extension on pocket area is to prevent unwanted pleat at pocket opening. And the extension on the front rise is to keep align the center front. But the extension is not required for all the times. Like if the requirement is aligned with the left side image, then the extension is not required. But if the requirement is aligned with the right side image, then we must put the extension on the pattern. I mean the pattern should be different on left and right. Now before prepare for a small panel, let me make a copy and I'm going to start with the front part. Let me check the front pocket measurement like 12 and 8 and the detail from the pocket. Check the measurement, there is length is 28 and width is 19. There is 3-degree angle and the lower shape is 10 centimeter. So 28, 19, 10 and here we required 12, 8. As I told you, this shape always up to you. Just follow the styling. One more thing that the pocket angle is 3-degree. So let me draw a line with 3-degree angle and move the line to this area so that it will help you. Now this is the pocket shape and this is the pocket lower edge. Touch the waistline by keeping aligned this drawing line. This is closer to 3-degree and that is okay. Now we don't need this line. Reshape this pocket according to required. So we have done. Now I need to draw pocket seam. As we can see here, the overlapping on the pocket seam required 6 and 3.5. So here we need to mark 6 and 3.5. After this, you don't require any sewing allowance for pocket seam because the 6 centimeter including the allowance. So if you want to add allowance, you can make 5 and 2.5. Now there we require to draw a quiet pocket, something like 2.5 I think, and from here 2.5. Since there is no measurement, then we can put like 8 centimeter. So this is the coin pocket. Now I'm going to copy this panel and remove some line from here like this one, this one, and aligning with the pocket shape. Here basically we don't require these things like this, and I need to apply this extension here. Okay, there we required only 3 mm, and here we required I think 4 to 7 mm. So let me make it 5 mm and reshape it if required. Yes, so this is the front panel. Check the side shape if there is required minor correction. Make it like I'm adding here 1 mm to make it smooth. Now I'm tracing the small panel here like the pocket seam. Okay, so we have done. Now I need to make the back pocket like 16 and 17. So 17 centimeter length and 16. I'm making it half. Let me make it shape like 2.5 and unfold this. So this is the pocket basically. So let's consider the pocket position is 2 centimeter lower on the rise and 3 centimeter on the side. And if there is any measurement from here something like 5 centimeter or whatever it is, just make sure you mark this. So this is the position and rotate this pocket, align this line. Now by selecting this, go to design, internal to piece, the very lower option, copy piece as close internal. Now you move this, there is a pocket position and realign this pocket, remove all the marks. Now I need to trace the back part. This is the back part and I need to trace the yoke but not from here because we have hidden dot which need to apply. Now I need to trace the yoke from here because there is hidden dot. So there is two panel we found. We need to rotate the side yoke. So keep it here. Now select the lower point and rotate the piece to match the point and trace it again. Here you can see the full yoke. Now make it smooth and correct the shape if required. In this case I'm going to add 1 mm here, match the yoke with the body here. Now we can see the shape of the yoke. The hidden dart was here but the dart now moved to the side and this is completely okay. So I don't need this. Now if you want to make curved waist for this trouser, you can trace from here or maybe you can make newly waist from here like 45 times 2 90 plus 4 centimeter for double fly, and our waist height is 4 centimeter. So here is the waist pattern. The fly length is 15 centimeter. So 15, 4, 3.5. This is the fly, and for double fly, make it 2 centimeter longer and thinner by 0.5 centimeter. Reshape it by at least 1 centimeter. Okay, so copy and flip this. In traditionally, the fly are making something like this, but our suggestion is to cut any of this side by straight and flip this piece. Finally join this with that other side, make it smooth, and join it with the other side. We want the double fly lower edge shape something like this to align with this. This will help you to avoid wash effect mark on top side of the trousers. Now I am going to apply grading to the pattern. Before applying grading, I want to remove unnecessary piece from this model. Since I just want to apply grading on main panel to show you, therefore I am going to remove all the pattern except back and front. As the curve waist has special requirement for grading, therefore I want to trace the curve waist from here to show you the way of grading for the curve waist. So I'm going to trace this waist. This is the front, and this is the back. I must leave this hidden dot. This is the back. So this is the center back, this is the side back, and this is the front. I don't need this panel here. Now follow the process I applied on the yoke. Like rotate this piece and match this front too. Now trace this piece, and I don't need this now. Make it smooth. Realign the grain line. Here is the shape of the waist. Now make it full, and if necessary adjust the shape slightly according to your requirement. Maybe something like this to smoother the belt, but make sure the belt remain even width. Yes, so I guess this is okay. Now make it full. Now apply the extension for double fly like 4 centimeter, and I'm going to remove the straight belt from here. Now I need to assign the size. Let me see the size 28 to 40. Our base size is 34. So grading, this is 34 and maybe 3 and 3. Yes, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38. Okay, and rename the pattern. This is our back. Now let me check the grading value. The bottom is 0.75 and the knee also 0.75. So let's apply this first. Minus 0.375. Copy this grading apply, and the thigh is 1 and last two size is 1.2, 0.5, then hip and waist also 2 centimeter with spinning, 0.5, The grading value is provided for all the size except this 2 millimeter, 2 and 2 4 millimeter. So I'm going to add here on the back thigh only. There I'm going to add like zero point 0.9, and yeah, the last two size is zero point 0.9 because the back rise grading last two size is 1.5 centimeter but other size is 1 centimeter. Copy the grading from hip and apply to waist because the waist and hip grading is same, and the front rise grading is 8 mm, back rise is 1 centimeter, and the last two size is 1.5, but we already adjust 4 mm from here, so here we require only 1.1, and the side seam I am giving 1 centimeter. Then the waist, let me copy the waist and apply another grading. Well, pattern grading is done. What I did here is traditional way, and most of pattern maker follow the rules. But we have little different requirement for trouser grading, especially front rise, back rise, and curve waist. Let me show you the difference and benefit of following the process. To making this, I am going to copy all the pattern, remove one waist, remove the grading from waist. Follow the difference carefully because you must respect and follow the rules while working with our pattern. Rotate the front panel following the front rise shape. Now you can see the front panel rotate following the front rise shape. Stack the hip and remove all grading from waist. Now apply front rise grading on top side. Remove stack and realign the pattern following original grain line. Now stack on front rise and apply the waist grading here. Release the stack. Now apply length grading here. The front grading is done. Follow the process on back too. Like rotate the back panel, stack on hip, remove all grading from here, and now apply the back rise grading like on centimeter and last two sizes on 0.1. Release stack, realign the pattern, Stack the back rise, apply waist grading here, again release stack and apply the side grading here. Now follow the process I'm going to apply on waist grading. This is very important because the process not only for waist grading but you can apply on similar kind of panel too. Example, the collar and collar stand. Now I'm going to remove the existing grading. Now realign the waist by selecting the center back and the side point, something like this, and rotate the piece. You can see the waist rotate following this green line. Now apply the half of the waist grading on the side point. Copy this and paste here. The next step is to rotate the waist following the side and center front point, something like this, and rotate the waist again. Now you can see the piece rotate following this green line. Now stack the side point. After stacking the side point, apply hold the waist grading here, like the Y there is 0 and the waist should be full grading here, and copy this grading, X paste, Y paste. The grading has been done. After applying the grading on the center front, now select the center back point and stack this point. Now realign the waist following the original green line and rotate this piece. You can see the grading has been applied on half of the waist. Now copy this grading to other side, like here, X paste, Y paste, and here also X, Y, and copy the center front grading and apply here. Finally, the grading has been done. You might have question about the waist grading and want me to show the difference. So let me show the difference. To show the difference, I'm bringing all the waist together. Like here, this is our existing waist. To show you the difference between the waist, I'm going to hide the grading and drawing a line following the center back and center front, something like this. Make little extra, 73.5. Do same thing for all the waist. Now show the grading. Zoom it a little. Now you can see the difference between all the waist. This is the correct waist. You can see the degree follows for all the sizes, and here none of them follow the degree. Here also for the very right side you can see it just extend widthwise, and for the middle waist it extend in another way, but for the left side you can see this is actually balanced move. It moved this way and this way, both the way, and follow the degree. The main thing is the belt shape adjusted all the sizes according to required by the trousers. I hope you understand what I am talking about. Now compare the front and back panel grading. To visible the difference, bring the back panel together. This correct grading and this is wrong grading. If you stack hip point on the pattern which is having wrong grading, you will see the back rise shape is different from hip to waist. But after stack the pattern having right grading, you will see the back rise match properly for all the sizes. Now if you bring together, you can see the difference. Like here, all the size is same line, but there is different. You might have questioned that what will be the problem if you follow the wrong grading. The answer is the front and back waist down will be uneven, and the most important is the leg spread will be different, which will impact on fitting. Let me show you an example. I'm going to copy on panel anion and paste it here. Release stack and hide the grading. Make another copy. For example, this is 34 size and this is 32 size, and your grading shows something like here this much different, something like this, different. Now show the main problem. Rotate the piece and rotate this piece too. Remember, this is our correct grading. Now make it full, something like I'm joining the back rise, and I'm doing this for this panel too, joining the back rise. Now you can see the difference, like make it here. See the waist is little down. So if I match this here, you can see the waist become different and the leg is spread mainly. If I match here on the back, you will see the different. Like the correct pattern leg spread is something like 42 and the wrong pattern leg spread is 50. There is huge difference. I believe you understand what I'm talking about. To remind you, I didn't apply grading on inseam and the knee position. Now I'm going to apply this grading. The inseam grading is 1 centimeter and last two size is 0.5. On 0.5 last two size. Copy this grading and apply here. Now stack this point and apply the knee position here. Like knee position, there is 0 0. Okay, there is 0 0 grading, so I need to apply here 0. Copy, paste here. Now release this stack here. This one also, and copy this grading, the knee height, apply on the back. Finally, the grading has been completed. I believe that you have found something new and interesting on this video, and the way you are thinking will change from the next pattern you will work on. By following the method, you will benefited by avoiding unnecessary sample rejection. Also, we will benefited by providing better fitting product across all size to the customer. See you soon on next video. Take care.